You can't really give him too much shit because name a man special that doesn't reference his dick.
Yeah,
You
they all
can't
do.
do
I
it.
mean,
You
name a
can't do it.
name a 5 minute conversation between guys that doesn't reference their dick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've already done it twice.
Yeah,
I'm holding my dick as we speak right now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's here's one hand. You can see what it's doing. I remember my dad took me on a little fishing trip out on the lake. He was so excited. He was like, "Yeah, gonna take my 12-year-old, my little man, out on a boat. We're gonna catch some fucking fish and talk like men. Maybe let him try a sip of beer, whatever." And I'm like, "Hey, Dad, can I bring my Star Wars book about Darth Maul?" And he was like, "Oh, God damn it. Yeah, okay." And then we're out on the lake, and I'm just, he's he's reeling him in, and I'm like, "That's awesome, Dad. Hell yeah, brother." And he finally gives me a pole, and he's like, "Get up here." We try catching something. I was like, "You got it." I was at a stopping point anyway. I was between chapters, and I get up there, and I'm bored out of my damn mind. I finally catch something. I was like, "Oh shit, get the net, get the net. I got something." And he was, the proudest moment of his life. I saw his eyes light up and he was like, "Oh man, my boy finally caught something. This is great." It was a fucking turtle, is what I caught.
Oh,
I
man.
pulled
Oh,
this
that's
turtle up.
cool.
I'm crying, he's laughing, whatever. We'll
I
let it
killed
go.
the turtle.
'Cause all I could think about was Ninja Turtles, and all he could think about was disappointment, but whatever.
What's up, everybody? It's Locker Room Junkies. I'm Joe. These two, Kevin and James, Jedis that are with me.
It's Jedi. Wish it was.
If you want to be a Sith, I mean, could be a Sith, right?
The her trooper, Ewok. That's what I personally want to be.
Moving
Mm.
along.
But anyways, we're on episode 4. And Kevin, I think we're moving along with all sports right now. We're kind of a full go. We got NFL finally under wraps for week 1.
Hmm.
College, we're going into week 3. Baseball's heating up because it's kind of the end of the regular season. So playoffs are right on the verge.
So now
And
it's watchable.
yeah, yeah. So now is when most people watch because it really comes down. Every game matters, I guess, for a lot of teams at this point.
Hmm.
So it's kind of all full systems go. But week 1 of the NFL, that's it's I'm not it's hard to take away a lot of things. As a fan of the Titans, there's a whole lot to take away from that, and a lot of questions that I guess are left unanswered from week 1. What's your thoughts? What do you think the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Titans were?
The ugly was the special teams and decision making of the quarterback.
Yeah,
I want to start with the ugly. He just situational awareness was awful. I mean, awful. Oh, yeah, awful. I don't know. I mean, I watched it. It was. I mean, my emotions after that game and the next day are different than now because I had time to let it sit and really think about it. Yeah,
yeah,
I hope he learns from it. But that's a play that people are defending saying he's a rookie. I'm like, dude, you've been preached that like you don't do that since high school.
yeah,
Like that's one of those things. Like that's a situation. Like, dude, you got to know that. I mean, and I think Callahan came out and said that he had talked. He did something along those lines. He did something along the lines of that earlier in like the third quarter, and so he already told him not to do that again. And then he goes out and does it again. So I don't think he went rogue and did whatever he wanted to do. So that was terrible. I mean, we'll see if he redeems himself. But I mean, I don't know, man. That's tough. That's a tough way to
tough
lose it.
one.
I
Yeah,
mean, shit. At least if we punt there and somehow Chicago gets a field goal, then at least we lose in that manner. But I don't
yeah.
think they would have moved the ball, to be honest with you.
That was pretty. That was a pretty ugly spot. I thought special teams was really ugly, man. Right before that return, I literally turned and I said to Kayla, I said, their special teams hasn't looked good so far because they were already giving up big chunks of yards every time they kicked it. And then they give up the touchdown. I was like, see, I mean, that was like right on cue. That shit was ugly.
It would have been a shut. I mean, if the special teams played somewhat decent, dude, they wouldn't have even got a field goal because I mean they
Yeah.
couldn't move the ball. But that's where the bad. But the bad part, I think, was the play calling. the play calling offensively was shit. I mean, we've been told it's going to be great. We're promised this 1A and 1B of Pollard and Spears. Except Pollard did look good, so I can understand why they
Yeah.
kept him. But like Spears was non-existent. Dude's supposed to be a playmaker in your offense. The play calling was shit. I'm like, golly, I miss Todd Downing. Last offensive coordinator. I mean, seriously. At least last year, fucking Will Levis was throwing the ball around a little bit. This off. I mean, it's Callahan's first game doing it, so I mean, it
It felt rushed. It felt confused. It felt like there was like really no packages and there was no nothing. Like even the first drive, they just go 1, 2, 3 and out. And and it took them a while. It seemed like when they correctly used Pollard, they moved the ball pretty good. And it just felt like they couldn't figure out how to use Tajay Spears out of the backfield. Like a lot last year, they threw to him a lot out of the backfield, and he was explosive. And this year, I don't know. I mean, it was not what I was hoping to see from the Titans for week one on the offense because I was most excited about their offense. I thought it was going to be a more explosive offense, And then the first half, I thought, shit, this is a new Titans team. I mean, they had a good lead going into halftime, and offensive line looked a whole lot better compared to last year, and then everything was clicking. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Week two is not going to be any easier against the Jets defense.
Yeah, the Jets didn't impress me whatsoever. They're still the Jets. It's actually going to be a very winnable game because the good part of that game was the Titans defense. And I say good, I mean, dude, like that defense, I haven't seen them look that good. I know it was Caleb Williams' first start, but that
Hey,
defense,
what do we think of my boy Caleb Williams? How'd he do? He was pretty dominating, wasn't he?
yeah, he's going to make the Kraken
Yeah.
proud, I think.
Yeah, he is. He came in dirty,
Eventually.
won it, pulled it out though.
He
It
did. He
was
did win.
You got to
ugly.
win. You got to
I'll
win.
take his stats. I would take his stats with
It
the
was a
W any day.
ugly win, probably. That's what
But
everyone kept saying at work. I was like,
Well,
oh,
I'll say this: the Titans lost, and the Bears offense didn't score a touchdown. So
the defense is insane, man. I mean, did you like the last time I seen him dominate like that was I had to think about it. It was in 2019, the year we went to the AFC Championship game. They
yeah,
were the Giants and they shut him out. It was like one of Eli's last games. They shut him
yeah.
out. Dude, I haven't seen the defense just fucking do what they want to do like that in a while. And dude, it's like I said, Caleb's first start, but dude, they got a good, decent offense. They got playmakers all over the
That
field.
that D line, that D line was nasty for the Titans, man. That was impressive.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons was getting triple teamed at one point.
Yeah, I mean they were
mm,
keeping the quarterback under pressure. That second round pick that me and you were talking about, Sweat looked legit. A lot of teams passed on that guy. I mean, they're gonna regret that one.
Yeah, they are. He's gonna make him regret it too, dude. Dude's fucking. Had no problems getting back there. It's the defense is good. Their defense will win us some games, but at some point the offense has to do something because
Offense has to do their job.
defense will not continue to play at that level, knowing the offense cannot support them. I mean,
No,
they're gonna still play hard. They're professionals, but at some point, dude, they're humans. If they don't have any trust in their fucking offense, I mean, it's gonna be hard to go that hard. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's gonna be hard for them to do that. I just
Well, hopefully they figure some shit out because I mean they got the pieces to. I mean, so they like I said, the receiving core is pretty stacked.
Mhm.
I kind of got more faith in Pollard after the game. Like
Yeah,
I think he could be the premier back. I think they just got to figure out how to use him with Spears. Um,
Spears is good. There was no Spears times he got the ball, he looked good. It just was only like four or five times he got the ball. They had
yeah,
to end around to Burks just to try to get him the ball. I was like, dude, that was a dumb play. Like that was one of those play calls. Like the end around needs to stop. It's unless you're the Dolphins, it's not going to work.
that's your Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. Stop it. You got a 6'4". This guy's huge. Stop the end arounds, dude. Just run up the middle and make the pass.
Yeah,
Or whatever, run it to the side. But dude, that end around cost us. We were moving the ball and it cost us like 7 yards. And it just kills drives like that because it can help your drive, but it's just usually only like a 10-yard play. But I feel like the reward's not worth the risk of that because you typically are
no,
running
they're
like
never really
70.
a home run ball like they expect it to be. Like you said, it's usually like a good 10-yard play, unless like you're the Dolphins and sometimes you bust out like the 30, 40 yards.
Yeah.
But
The,
somebody's always in the back of that secondary is going to catch you at anyways before you usually get to 10. So
yeah, you got to have that playmaker, man. You got to have somebody like a Tyreek Hill or like the Chiefs have with Worthy now. I mean, because he scored on an end around, but like you got to have somebody small, fast, quick that defense is going to lose. Because if you got somebody 6'3" back there, however big Burks is, he's huge. I mean, like they know
yeah,
what he's doing. They're gonna everyone can see him.
yeah, yeah,
So,
Tyreek Hill, that's a name I've heard recently.
yeah.
oh yes,
Tyreek was in the news for some other things.
He pulled out that little get out of jail free card. That's what he did. It was
no,
like, so what? I was doing 100 and a 30. Who gives a shit? And they were like, "You're right. You're right. We're sorry. Our bad for smashing your window. Go on, go on, you rascal."
But now he's calling and he won't let up about he wants that police officer fired.
Uh,
So
we'll see what happens there. But yeah, dude, that's
it'll
Titans.
just die down. That kind of shit will last like a week and then we move on from it.
It already has. It's already went away. Just like
Yeah.
when, yeah, there's many things that go. It's already went away. So, yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's the Titans for you. That's the Titans in a nutshell. But it was a very, I don't know if we're gonna get there, by the way, but it was a very, very weird week one from an offensive standpoint. It was awful. Everyone was sloppy unless you're Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Like
that on my
saw
bingo
that coming.
card.
That screwed up my parlay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Vikings would probably win that game. It was against the Giants, and I honestly, I think we talked about. It. I was like, I think he might be good, but dude, he was. I mean, he had a bad. He didn't have a good first quarter, but dude, after that, he went out and looked good. I mean,
Well, I thought if the Giants might be worth a damn, they'd win that game because they'd be playing Sam. And they were at home. I was like, and they're at home, so I was, but no,
yeah, Daniel Jones is just he's got all the tools. He just I can't put it together. I guess I don't know. And
he's just not the guy. I mean,
Manning's got that boy drafted.
if if he was never put into the spotlight as a starting quarterback, everybody'd be like, he's such a damn good backup quarterback. But now I don't even think he'll get that. Uh,
No, probably not.
but I
But
mean, shit, he got paid. I don't think he cares either way.
no, yeah, I don't know why they paid him so damn much. That he's fast too. I don't know what they're impressed with. I mean, I guess he did have an okay year that year, but it
He had
was
a very okay year, and he got really good money for having an okay year. And now they're
yeah,
just stuck with him at least for the rest of this year.
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see.
They'll have they're it looks like they'll have probably a pretty early draft pick. So
But yeah, man. What about the Bucks? I got to watch a lot of. I got to watch a lot of that game. So, what was your take on that? I don't know what all you got to see.
I didn't get to watch the game, but I did listen to some of it on satellite
Mm.
radio, and Bucks impressed me. Um, they came out. I wish I could have seen it because I wanted Jaden Daniels to be a Bucks quarterback, but maybe I just don't give enough faith to Baker Mayfield because I mean he went out there and looked like you. I think you put it the best yesterday when we were talking about it. He looked like he wasn't. He was one of the few quarterbacks that came out and didn't look like it was week one. Like he looked like he was prepared and ready for the start of the NFL.
Yeah,
You know,
looked like he mid season form. That's the
yeah,
word.
yeah, because there's a lot of people you can tell early in the NFL, like the first two games, you can tell like these guys don't give a shit and they're just getting back into shape almost. Because a lot of them
Mhm.
skip training camp, spring camp, and everything else. So no, he looked good. Mike Evans, I guess he doesn't age apparently because he still looks good. That was impressive.
Better than ever, man.
Yeah, he ended up with 2 touchdowns, and I took him on a whim in one of my drafts because I'm like,
Shit, I wanted him.
I'm always like, man, he's gonna have a down year eventually, but
Nope.
he's like one of the most solid, consistent players probably of all time, at least
He'll
for the
never get Jerry Rice's record, but if there was anyone that I trust that could, it would be
yeah,
him.
yeah, because he's still playing at a high level for all these years now. I'm not sure exactly how many years he's been in the league, but it's
10,
yeah. I was about to say it has to
year
be
11.
10, right? I was gonna say I know at least 10.
It's been every year since he's been in the NFL. He's had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, and so he's actually I looked it up. Did you know that he had out of like the NFL history, he has the 33rd most receiving yards in NFL history already.
No,
Of all that, he's fucking 33rd.
dang.
That's crazy, right? Just when you think of it like that, like dude, he'll probably. I mean, there's and I think To's right there, number two, and he's only like 17, and Mike's at probably like 12, so he'll at least get to number two of all time. I feel like.
Yeah, he's on pace for it.
he'll get that. Well, number one, I don't know if anyone's ever going to get to Jerry Rice's like 22,000 something yards. That's going to be hard.
No, Jerry Rice was a different different kind of beast, and
Shoot,
he
man,
played for fucking ever.
he did. But
But he
dude,
played
fucking
at a good level forever. It wasn't like he was just out there.
yeah, man. Mike Evans is good, man. Bucks look good, dude.
Bucks look good. Defense still look good. They gave up a couple, like 2 or 3 touchdowns, I think. But they still look good. Jane Daniels look good. Like I said, I think he's the best rookie quarterback out of that draft. I'd rather have him than Caleb Williams.
You're right. You were right, 100%. He was by far the most poised quarterback. He looked like he's been there. Like he didn't look scared. I mean, he ran a lot, but that's because he had to. But he looked poised, dude. He looked really comfortable. Um, I mean, it was probably 90 degrees there, hot. You know,
Yeah.
road game, tough, and he went out there like he looked the part. He didn't look timid. He looked way more poised than Will Levis did. Um,
Yeah, that was kind of that the way Will Levis played was kind of just shocking, I guess.
yeah,
Wouldn't expect that from him. I thought this was like he's going to take that next step. It seemed like he almost took a step backwards.
yeah, I did. That's a good point. He looks like he took a step backwards.
But it's one game. I give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see.
Yeah, I will. Well, yeah, we're gonna be
It's
hard.
one. It's one you hope don't cost you at the end of the year, though. I mean, luckily Jacksonville lost, and Colts lost because they lost to Houston. So
That was another game, man. That was a good. I got to watch that, and also we'll say that Richardson made a lot of horrible throws. He made like 2 amazing throws. So I get why, but that's going to be him, I think, right?
yeah,
He's going to do that. And Stroud looked okay. I get he was good. I'm not like saying he's bad, right? But he didn't. He made some bad throws too.
yeah,
Colts defense was actually the Colts were really. I mean, shit, dude. Colts surprised me. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were, and they could have won that game. But yeah, dude, we'll see what happens. But I think the Bucks got that division locked up. I mean, maybe
it
the
looks like
Saints.
it's
I don't
gonna
know.
be. It looks like it's gonna be between them and the Saints because the Saints look pretty good. But
Falcons.
it's hard to say because the Saints played the Panthers, who probably is the worst team in the league.
Still, they didn't improve. They got worse.
They somehow got worse. Like there was nothing good about that. I was like just curious. I got on the stats and looked at Bryce Young, and at one point I think he had 2 interceptions and nothing else going for him. Like
You know,
Thielen had like 21 yards or some shit. Like they just
yeah,
can't move the ball. They can't stop the ball. They can't do that. I mean, Saints. I didn't really get to watch this. I don't know how good the Saints actually were, but they poured it on them. I know that much.
I didn't get to watch. Should have. That's one of the games I didn't watch. I should have. I guess maybe because I knew it was going to be a close game. Um, Also, I need to figure out a way to filter out the scores so I can actually watch the game and not know what's going to happen. But
Yeah,
that's beside the point. That would be cool for me to figure out. I need to figure that out. But yeah, man, it was a weird week one. It was just it's shitty, sloppy all the way around, except for the veterans who've been there before. For the most part, Joe Burrow did not look good. Jacoby Brissett though
yeah.
looked like a top fucking 10 quarterback.
I
I
was
mean,
just
he
about to say,
was.
Bengals. Man, they might have more problems than they were expecting to have. There's, I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't have gone for the Slim Shady look.
Man, maybe they're missing Callahan too. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
that's a big jump. Maybe he was more to them than people let on. I'm not sure. I
if
mean,
if if Cincinnati was as good as everybody like expect, like there's a lot of people who put Cincinnati in the Super Bowl this year because
mhm.
Joe was back. And I mean, if they were going to be anywhere as good as they thought they'd be, they would have won that game against the Patriots. Um,
Yeah,
it was, and it was like, as like, is it Cincinnati is this bad, or is the Patriots just better than we were ever going to give them credit for? Because I was not expecting them to win that game at all.
well, they made the right decision starting Brissett because he can get. I mean, I don't know why they let him go when he was their third string quarterback.
Yeah,
Because I mean, they should. I don't know why they didn't fight to keep him and him just be because he played so good whenever Tom Brady was injured and he had to go in and play. I don't know. It was the first time we saw him. I don't whatever year it was, but he played good. But I mean, Mayo knows Belichick's defense,
yeah.
so that defense is gonna stay. I didn't even think about that till the game. Like that's right. I mean, Mayo was there. Um, maybe it's just because he's an old ex-ball player. I think that's really why they were so dominant on defense, Joe. That's probably why.
The
Um,
Tennessee tradition of
yeah,
best
of
defense.
dominant defenses. But yeah, dude, you're right, man. You're really right about that. Maybe the Patriots are better than we thought.
Yeah, hey, maybe that defense will just be, that if Brissett don't turn the ball over and can get 3 touchdowns a game, the defense handles the rest. I mean, I'm not penciling them into the playoffs just yet, but they made fucking Cincy look like shit. So,
Yeah, they did
which was
in Cincy.
definitely, I think, like the biggest surprise of the week, from a team that lost. I mean, I listened
Yeah,
to so many other people talk, and it was like the one guaranteed lock of the week was Cincinnati. Everybody said that, every single person, and then I mean, we'll see.
Why did everybody count the Patriots out so hard?
Well, it's just Bill Belichick's not there no more. They didn't really sure who they were going to start at quarterback until basically last week.
yeah.
They don't have Brady obviously anymore. So I mean, it was either what was Drew May or
Drake May or
Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett or even Joe Milton.
Yeah, yeah. Now that would be, a lot of, he made some noise, so that would be interesting.
He did.
They've got probably the most interesting quarterback locker room if you think about it, because I mean, if it was like last year, everybody just kind of took turns being quarterback and seeing who was best. That would be
Yeah.
interesting to see for the Patriots who would be best.
Huh. Remind you of a team in Washington, 10 years ago who did the same thing. RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that's
And it
true.
worked. Yeah, I mean, so then maybe that's the strategy they went with. It was weird to draft Drake May then Joe Milton,
That
but
was
I
kind
mean,
of weird. That
it,
that but um they did it for a reason. I guess they wanted some competition there. I mean, to me, quarterbacks are never a guarantee. Everybody wants to pretend like top draft quarterbacks are guarantees. But if you go look at the past
yeah,
5 years, most top quarterbacks are probably not even in the league anymore. I mean, look at
no,
shitty, some of them are like Zach Wilson, um, guys like that, man. They're just not that good.
yeah, it's hard. I mean, that's you just don't fucking know. And then the guys who are the best didn't necessarily dominate in college, which is also weird. And Mahomes, I don't even remember hearing of Mahomes in college. I don't think I did.
I watched like one of his games. I can't remember if it was against Texas. It was against somebody, but it was like just a high scoring game, and then he drove them down to win, of course, late.
Yeah,
Um, it was one of those style games. But yeah, I mean, guys like that. I mean, Josh Allen. I kind of heard
I
more
remember
about
him.
him. Like the year he was leaving college to go to pro. I heard more about him, but outside of that, I didn't really hear much about him.
Yeah, like I mean Lamar. I mean, obviously, I remember watching Lamar in college. People like that. So they got a couple of them right.
Yeah,
Uh, obviously, we heard a lot about Will Levis, probably for and it's just he's struggling. We heard a lot about Caleb Williams. He's struggling. So it's just tough to nail it, man. It's hard to really get the right quarterback.
yeah.
It's tough to
I
do,
mean,
man.
Bryce Young's a Heisman winner, and he looks like he shouldn't be on the fucking field. I mean,
Yeah, well, they're not helping him much, unfortunately. That's like they didn't do anything. It's like, you picked him number one. You got to invest in some other things around him, and I don't know that
you
they
need some
did.
weapons, you need some protection, and I feel like you don't have none of that.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
Boy,
that was my week one take.
that Vols North Carolina game, that was a real nail biter, wasn't it?
You know,
Yeah, that
I
was a
watched
page turner.
I watched for just a little bit of that because NC State kept it close for just a little bit, and it was like they were driving down and getting ready to score, and then he threw that pick six, and that was it from there.
Yeah, that's why I was happy he did it then. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, good, get that shit out of your way. And like that was one of those where like, okay, that was a good lesson, time to learn a lesson. You did it in
yeah,
a game that you're obviously going to win. He threw the pick six and then they came right back out and scored a touchdown. I'm like, wow, that's not the same Tennessee team we used to watch.
yeah, yeah. Who's Tennessee play this week?
Kent State, Saban's
Okay.
alma mater, right?
Yeah,
This is
maybe
their year, guys. This is their year.
this is their
Kent
year.
State, Kent,
Been
Ohio.
rebuilding for a while, but this is it.
And maybe Saban will step out of retirement to just coach this game one more time against Tennessee.
Yeah, maybe.
Manning needs to come back and be a coach.
That would be cool.
Yeah, everybody speculates that anytime Tennessee's looking for a new head coach, which has been quite often here lately, but I guess they finally found their guy.
More like a new forehead coach, am I right?
Because this is the best Tennessee's definitely has looked in a long time.
Yeah, that defense looked good. I mean, fuck if well, Saban, for what it's worth, always is. I mean, he's pretty much always given Tennessee credit. Like respectfully, he really has, which is awesome. But like even he was like, dude, they're dangerous with their defense and their quarterback, and no one's paying attention to their defense yet, which they will because Pierce is probably going to go top 10 in the draft. I mean, they've got a lot of their defensive stack.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I'm hearing more people talk about their defense. Living here in Middle Tennessee, I think we hear it a little bit more than people outside of this. But they're
Yeah,
kind of a dark horse. They're kind of like riding low for some reason. I guess maybe it's because they haven't played a top tier opponent yet. But I mean, neither has Alabama. Alabama plays Wisconsin Saturday, so I mean,
that'll be a big one for him. Just to go up there, Milrow's going to have a big game just to make Alabama fans feel comfortable. Because if he goes up there and struggles, man, it's not going to be. I mean, they're still a great team, but I don't think he can go up there and struggle.
yeah. Well, the offensive line to play a little better, and they played against South Florida. They play like shit. Milrow held the ball too long, looked a little bit like shit at times. And that Alabama score at the end of the game didn't really dictate how that game went at all.
Not at all. I was going to text you, but I was like, I'm not going to bother him. He's probably upset right now.
No, it's fine. Like I never thought Alabama was going to lose that game, but man, they sure didn't really stand out much that game until the end, where they finally just decided to score 3 or 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't really know much about Wisconsin other than they played jump around at the end of the third quarter, and all the kids get into that. Um, I don't think that they played 2 games so far, or two, and they've won, but they haven't really played anybody. One of them was pretty close. I can't remember exactly who they played, but I don't think it was anybody tough. They should go up and just on talent alone win against Wisconsin. So
They should. I mean, this isn't Wisconsin of 4 or 5 years ago. If it was, it'd be it'd be probably be a different game, right? But yeah, they're not ranked. I don't think they did anything last year. I don't know much about the program anymore. Like it's been a few years. So
yeah. But other than that, I mean, I think like you said, Milrow go up, have a big game. Bama will have a bye week the week after this Saturday, and then they'll play Georgia, and that'll be a huge game.
hey, that's a huge game.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you guys a question. Y'all seen that movie Armageddon, right?
Oh yeah.
Bruce Willis and all them.
Hmm.
And now how they had to take a ragtag team of oil drillers and teach them to be astronauts. What current college football team would you be most comfortable teaching how to drill on an asteroid to save the human race? Which team do you think it would be?
College
If you could
football
pick one.
team.
Yeah, college football team. If you could pick one, who would
Fuck
you teach to
Vanderbilt. They're smart.
Vanderbilt?
They're
Somebody, I think
smart.
somebody like Stanford or Yale or Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Not the Air Force, huh?
Engineers.
Not, no,
No,
no. If Space Force had a football team,
Oh, that I might be a fan at that point.
they might. You never know.
that's
Talking
what
about teams you've never even, been to their state. I'll be a Space Force fan like that.
Home game on the moon.
Get a tattoo, show up with
Elon
face
Elon
paint to all their
Musk should
games.
make that happen. That'd be awesome. Space
Yes,
Force
please.
football
Oh,
team.
that'd be sick. No, we need to get Trump back in office because that was kind of his baby.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
true.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I was
But
just
I
curious.
mean, just going off of that, I mean, I would just say one of the Ivy League teams. Any of those. I mean, I'm not.
But I mean, do those kids, I mean, they're there on football scholarships. Are they super smart, like the players, or are they just
I
kind
didn't
of
even
your
think about
average
Air
people at those
Force.
schools?
Yeah,
Huh?
I didn't even think about Air Force. That's actually probably the one I would go with now that you brought that up because they're going to
Oh,
be the
yeah.
most prepared. Yeah.
ma'am. I mean, the guys are pretty smart still in these Ivy League schools. Like, you still have to get in on your academic scores too.
Or maybe the Texans, since they probably already know how to drill.
Yeah, that makes
They've already
sense.
got that part down. Then all you got to do is teach them how to fly. That can't be too hard.
Mm.
I mean, fucking Ben Affleck could do it.
I'd rule out all the schools that have pot legalized. Because they're all going
Yeah,
to
they
be
won't be
too stoned.
motivated enough to
They
do it.
won't, definitely won't be motivated.
Mm-mm.
So
They'll
yeah,
have a good time while they're learning, but I don't think they'll get the job done. They'll get up there and be like, "Fuck, why are we
they'll
up
get
here?
the job done. They'll go through all the astronaut food
Like,
pretty
we got to light a nuke." Nah, I
You
don't
know,
feel
the
like it.
thing, it's funny, the thing that always sticks out to me about that movie as I can't, it's been a while since I've watched it, so I don't know the characters' names. But the one guy who just assumed he's going to die, so he just goes into debt and just spends all that money.
Oh yeah,
Like, I
Yeah,
feel like that's how I would be in that situation. Like, fuck it. Like, I'm just preparing to die. So let me just live it up.
yeah, and I think it was Steve Buscemi who
Steve
said,
Buscemi.
yeah, that they wanted to never pay taxes again if they made it back.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I wouldn't have even thought of that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Yes.
that movie in probably 10 years, but that thought just came to me. Like, what football team would we send? Hmm.
Yeah.
But also, but not just in terms of their smarts, but their teamwork. Who would win the college Super Bowl on a mile wide asteroid heading for the Atlantic?
You know, if Saban was still a coach, I think I would feel comfortable with a Saban team just because he's going to get the job done.
Yeah, and he's not gonna, he's gonna leave his office looking good. That's why
Yeah.
Alabama struggled. They changed the damn office. Did you
Yeah,
see
they
that?
did change his
He
office.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that. That was not cool.
He went with a
Like,
more modern look.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like Saban's. I would have left Saban's office as a shrine.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, dude, no one's probably gonna do what he's done ever again. I can't see that. Like, that's more dominant than any of the shit back in the day too when they were playing. Nobody, right? Nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit should have been a shrine. He remodeled that shit like the next month after he was gone.
Yeah, man, he gutted it and completely revamped it.
Does look nice though. I mean, I'll give him
I
that.
mean, it's a nice office. I agree with you. Maybe he just wanted like that. This is a new era of football. So,
Shit, stick with the stuff that works. I'd keep it the same.
yeah.
But
How long was Saban coach?
at Alabama,
Yeah.
shit.
Well, is that okay? I was
Well,
thinking
yeah,
that.
He started at LSU, and then went to the Dolphins for a little bit. And then that's when he came to Bama. He left the Dolphins to come back to college football to Alabama.
like '09 was his first year, maybe.
Yeah, oh 08 or oh 09. Let's see.
Maybe 2010 was his first year because I feel like they won the LSU. He won a championship at LSU in like '07, I think.
At LSU, yeah,
Yep.
because he
And
won that championship, and then that's when he left to go to the Dolphins the year
he went
after
to the
that.
Dolphins for 2 years.
He was with Alabama for 17 seasons, so
Oh shit! Then our time's way off.
Y'all talking about his office being a shrine or
2007.
whatever. Y'all say that, and all I can picture in my head, not having any idea what his office would look like, all I can think about is the coach from Waterboy. And it's just like this mess, and there's just little fans everywhere, and all his plays are scattered across his empty bowls of cereal and stuff. And
Coach Klein? You
just,
mean Coach Klein?
yeah, Coach Klein.
The Fonz.
That's all I could think about. But I have no idea what his office actually looked like. But I'm gonna keep that visual.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, any other takeaways from week one of NFL or week three of we're one fourth way of college football being done going into week three.
No, big jump, big move in the rankings, for sure from the last week, which was interesting just to see how everyone moved. They actually shuffled it around a lot. You know, I feel
Yeah,
like they punished. They actually the teams that look good, they made jump. And Tennessee jumped 7 spots. I feel like that's not normal. That's a lot of people lose. They actually seem to be doing more realistic rankings, but
yeah.
Hamlin,
Notre Dame lost. We can end that hype early this year.
yeah, that's great.
I
Thankfully,
always love when like a USC or Notre Dame loses early in the season. I don't have to listen to that shit. It's like we can end that hype early because they're never nobody. Like we're just gonna pretend like they're good every year because they're Notre Dame,
and if they
and
get in.
ESPN wants them to be good so bad. Like their dick just wants to be hard for Notre Dame, and now it's already limp.
Yep, yep, it is. You're right.
Shout out to our sponsors, Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Mhm.
If you put the blue in you, yeah.
And what about that BC Missouri game coming up this week? I'm actually looking forward to it. I hate that it's at 11:45. I hate
Oh,
that.
is it an early game?
BC at Missouri. I mean, dude, that's going to be two ranked teams, BC and
Yeah,
Missouri.
yeah.
Didn't see
They
that one coming.
playing pretty good.
Yep.
Missouri, pretty good team too, man. I wish Alabama didn't have to play them this year. That's what makes their schedule so rough. I think throwing them into that mix.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe BC will take them down.
Yeah, but fuck, Alabama plays at 11 o'clock Saturday. What the hell am I
Yeah.
going to grill at 11 o'clock?
That'll be, yeah.
Grill
You can
some
catch
breakfast
Tennessee Kent
sausage.
State game at 6 o'clock.
What am I do? I just hate. I mean, I'm okay with an early game, but I don't know. If it was Alabama, Wisconsin, I feel like they could have pushed it back a little further.
You're spoiled.
Yeah, I guess I am because they do get a lot of those primetime spots.
You're spoiled now. They're always the 2:30 game or the 6 o'clock.
At worst, 2:30.
Yep.
How's my boys in Florida doing? Are they doing good? Are they dominating? Are they eating up the competition?
They're 1-1. They got embarrassed by Miami in week 1.
Yep.
Well, that'll happen.
And then they played they started a new quarterback week 2 though. It's a pretty big 5-star recruit. They're all hyped about, and he looked good. So we'll see.
Miami is an ACC team,
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yep.
and I know that.
Yeah.
Learning a lot on this show. I'm learning a lot.
And they're probably the best. Well, ACC is tough to say who the best is. I guess they're probably the most picked best team in ACC right now because it's definitely not Clemson or Florida State anymore.
Shit. Maybe Boston College, maybe number 2.
Maybe Boston. I mean, for real, it could be Georgia Tech, maybe too. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. They play somebody ranked, I think, also Georgia Tech.
Do they?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I'm just thinking of BC again.
I hate that BC game's early.
Joe, what are you looking
Yeah.
at?
I'm just looking at the schedule, see if anything crazy sticks out. It's not a lot of like hyped games. I mean, like Oregon State play early. They played this week for some reason, which is not a big deal because it's Oregon State, but a rival game's usually late into the season. It's weird that they're playing so early.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that they're doing an early season one like that. They fucked the schedule up though this whole entire year. They fucked it all up. Just in general.
Yeah, I think the problem with the scheduling is TV rights kind of fuck over because, for longest SEC was in CBS. CBS got their first choice of the SEC game before anybody else got a choice. So, naturally they would take whatever game Alabama was playing or Georgia was playing 90% of the time, unless it was like Tennessee, Florida, or Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah.
Everything else was pretty much Bama and sometimes LSU. So,
There's a game, LSU at South Carolina. That's one that
yeah,
I could see
that's where
going.
game day is going to be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that to me is not like a huge game, but to show you how weak the schedule is this week, that's where they're going to be.
Yeah, they should have been in Missouri. BC, Missouri. That's the game.
Yeah, that'd have been a cool one to go to. I'm surprised they're going to South Carolina. That's a little shocking to me. I mean,
Yeah.
Tulane and Oklahoma, that could be a good one.
Tulane could pull that upset. I mean, they almost beat K State. We talked about it. I don't understand. I mean, that's a tough schedule for them guys, but they're
I
good.
will say that. I will say that coming off this past week, I didn't hit any of my parlays, which I'm pretty pissed about because I went heavy on Arkansas, who Arkansas looked like the best team the whole game, but they just kept turning the fucking ball over, and that's how they lost. They lost in double overtime. They
Uh,
cost me. They cost me. Arkansas cost me winning about $400 this weekend.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so I'm pretty pissed at Arkansas. I don't think I'll ever bet on Arkansas again because every time I did it last year too, they fucked me over. So
We're going to talk about
All
that.
I can think about is I want a fucking Space Force team now. Joe put that idea in my head.
you could be the biggest Space Force team fan, the biggest fan. They always have those fan Hall of Fames. You can make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Space Force.
I'd be the one guy in the crowd, like the only guy on that side, just hey, little pennant. No, I want to ask you guys something else though. You know, I had so much fun doing the player or porn star segment last time, so I want to ask you guys one, if you can guess, player or porn star.
Okay,
You ready? This
sign
question
me
goes out
up.
to both of you. Player or porn star? All right. Shannon Sharpe.
That's a trick question because he is now a porn star.
You know, uh, the other day when we were going over what we were going to do with this episode, Joe sent me, he said in our group chat, we need to talk about that video. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And who the hell is Shannon Sharpe? And so he said, let's go over the Shannon Sharpe video. And I was like, whatever the hell that is, send me a link. So he sends me a link, and the only thing that works is the video. Like that's all I can see is this video of this ceiling in this person's house and this racket that they're making. And I'm like, man, this Shannon chick is getting railed right now. It sounds like she's just getting it from this I don't know, this black dude or something. I was so confused. I was like, why the fuck are we going to talk about this on the thing? And so I have to go and Google. I was like, oh, well, who's Shannon Sharpe? It was like some WNBA thing. And I was like, oh, I got that a little bit backwards.
Yeah, that video, it's just funny to me because everybody's like kind of called him out on Twitter for being gay, and then all this video kind of comes out low key. Like, was it actually just an accident? How do you accidentally go live on Instagram? Like,
You don't.
there's no way you accident like they either the chick did it on purpose or he did it on purpose.
I think he did it. Before I didn't even know about that part, but my next thought after I figured out who was who was, oh, this was definitely intentional. Someone at the office said he doesn't get it anymore because he's in his 50s, and he was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna show him, and then you know, I think he totally filmed it on purpose. He was like, all right, yeah, it's filming. Okay, yeah, all right, no,
He's like, all right, for the next
now
two
say the
minutes,
thing.
I need you to be as raunchy as you can be for the next 2 minutes.
She was like, "Is this good?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah." Now say my name. And I didn't even catch that the first time around, but I heard her say his name like on the seventh time I
Oh, I
watched
didn't
it.
hear that.
Yeah, he was
It was hard for me to hear it because I was too busy like reading everybody's comments on Instagram. Like, damn, Unc.
the one that got, yeah. Hey, actually, a guy at work, he knows who that was. It was some indie wrestler guy who was going in there calling him Unk,
Oh,
and
that kept saying it like over and over.
yeah, it was an indie wrestler, the one with the check mark.
That's
The
funny.
one that the one that cracked me up was someone saying, "Where's my girlfriend?"
Yeah, like a couple hours later, I saw where was another athlete or somebody, I can't remember who it was, posted like, "I'm so excited, my wife, my wife won a lunch with Shannon Sharp today, but I haven't heard from her."
She's not answering her calls.
Yeah, that's
Her phone
wild.
just goes straight to voicemail.
But he immediately was like, my Instagram was hacked. That wasn't me." And then all day
Yeah.
today, he's just gone on the podcast and he's been like smoking cigars. He's been like, "Yeah, that was me, boys."
Shout out to our sponsors, Blue Chew,
Look you.
helping you out when you need helping out.
Hey, we all need helping at some point. Unless you're Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, use promo code 10 sharp.
Like, is that going to be the new thing now? Like, somebody claims you're gay and you just make a fake Instagram live sex
Hey,
tape?
you got Drake, you know, you
Yeah.
got Tommy Lee back in the day, you got uh Shannon Stone now, whatever her name was. Um, and it seems like that's what everybody's doing now.
Yeah.
You get into a little bit of hot water and bam, sex tape.
Sex tape cures everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think after that last debate, Kamala Harris might be thinking about it.
Jeez. The rumor is there's one that's already out there. So,
Oh wow.
yeah. Her
Yeah,
and
we haven't had a good presidential sex scandal since the 90s, you know? The
we're
Bill
due
Clinton, the
for
Monica
one.
Lewinsky.
We're absolutely due for a good sex
I
scandal.
Yeah.
mean, you would have thought it'd have been Trump.
You
I mean,
thought for sure Trump was going to give us the damn sex scandal, but
yeah. he'd put out some press conference, and he's just talking about making a Space Force football team, and in the background you just hear wah, 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 wah. That didn't happen. I
we
want my
need
money
another
back for that
Monica
4 years.
Lewinsky. That's what we need. Where the hell have they been? It's because I think we need a younger president. We keep getting older and older and
God,
older.
yeah, they
You
are
know,
so
and then
old. Well,
like
yeah,
sex scandals just real like well, there's no good. It's not appealing for Biden like to have a sex scandal. You
yeah,
know,
that's just.
like
Ugh.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he's
But Clinton wasn't much better. I mean, that dude was, old and gross too.
yeah, but he
I mean,
was
it's not like the good
fine.
old days where you had JFK and Marilyn Monroe and all that. Now you got, Trump and his wife that's 40 years younger than him. I mean, all right, I guess.
It's kind of odd though.
I've watched weirder shit, let's be honest.
Is Trump's wife the hottest first lady we've ever had?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Her
probably
and Jackie Kennedy are,
one and two.
they're really close, but I don't think we got off subject a little bit. What were we talking about? Meta world peace? And we're talking about Jackie Kennedy sex tapes. All right.
Whoa.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, what do you guys want to talk about? Me and Kevin, we had a golf tournament. James, I don't think we told you
Do
about that.
what? And
Yeah,
I
we played
wasn't invited.
we played in a golf
I would
tournament.
have loved to have turned that down if you had invited me.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Where'd
Different.
you go? Where'd you go?
Murfreesboro.
Champions Run?
No, Cedar Crest.
Mm,
It was fun, but I didn't like the par rule. That kind of ruined it because it was like I don't think the scores would have been as good, and it would actually more competitive. If
Yeah.
because par was the worst you could do. I'm like, well, that fucking like I mean, if you don't
do
get it
what?
somewhat on the green, no one's fucking. It was a speed it up, I guess, right? It had to have been to
I
speed
think it
up
was
the
the
game.
whole purpose of it was to speed it up. That's why
But
they said because they wanted you to if it was par, they technically they wanted you to just pick up and move.
it's like that's not the point. I'm here for the competition.
Oh, no.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
win. I'm not trying to fucking. I mean, have a good time. I mean,
No,
I'm gonna have a
I'm
good time, but
11 or 12 strokes per hole minimum.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
How am I supposed to get day drunk off of, 3 strokes a hole? I'm gonna have to play like
I
four
mean, on a
games.
par three, that's what it would have been. Like there, I mean,
God,
it would have been no point of you hitting your third shot. If you don't make your birdie, then you're done.
I have to
I would
play
like to
18
play
holes four
more of
times just to
those.
get buzzed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like to play more of those, Joe. They're fun. I had
it's
fun, but I
fun.
just maybe not the par rule. I didn't like that. Outside of that, I think it was a lot of fun.
Take the
Hey,
par
there
roll
was a
out.
local kid. I think it was when was it? I just saw it in the news. Kid just got his first hole in one. I want to say it was here at Henry Horton. He got a hole in one on a par three. I think it was here. Yeah,
Hmm.
I might be messing up who and where it was, but yeah, I just saw like where this high school kid got a hole in one on a par three. I was like, "Ugh,
That's pretty cool. I got close. The closest I've ever gotten to one was at Henry Horton when I played
Joe
with you
almost
two.
got it. The hardest fucking hole. I mean, it was. I don't even understand it because it was like it was almost dark too. It was like I don't know why we played that late that day, but we
Yeah.
did. And I remember when there was fucking deer coming out looking at your damn shot. I remember that. Like there was some deer came up damn on the green. I mean, it was. I
you
mean, you
getting
were
a
two
you're
feet
run
away.
you're
Yeah.
running out of light, running out of time, and you're just swinging from the cart.
Yeah,
You're like,
it was very
It's
hard
close.
swing.
That's probably the closest I'll ever get. But I mean, I had some bad shots, but for as little as I played, I feel like we both played pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely
Putting
played
was the
good.
worst part of it, but I mean, naturally, that's gonna be your worst part if you don't play a lot. It's,
Putting.
yeah, it's just hard to
Yeah,
get a feel like your drive and your putt. I mean, you hit your irons pretty good. I hit my irons okay.
putt
I had
was good, but we just couldn't nail any of the long ones. I mean, I kept missing them, just grazing. Just couldn't nail
yeah,
them.
yeah, but I think that's just because the consistency of playing. Like if you play a
Yeah,
lot, you straighten that shit out.
I haven't
yeah.
swung I haven't swung a golf club at all since before one of my kids was born. I don't remember which one it was.
Probably when you
Uh,
played with us last.
yeah, yeah. So it's been like 2 years, I guess. 2 years since I swung a club.
Yeah. Well, you were practicing a lot on your lunch
I
break.
was, dude. Yeah, I would every day. Well, like 3 days a week, I would say I would run down to the driving range and
Shit.
get a small bucket. I could get a small bucket, whack them all off,
Yeah.
and then just do a good old, ball whack off on a lunch break, and rush back and get back to it with minimal sweating. But that's been about 2 years. Man, I'll tell you what, my 6-year-old, she's got a boyfriend, of course, as they all do, and I've he's a good kid. He's not a problem or anything. He doesn't have any tattoos, so that's pretty cool.
You
But
gotta
his
watch them.
his yeah, they'll run off the rails out of nowhere.
Hmm.
But I met his parents, and I got to go over to their place over the weekend, and they are just the nicest, coolest people ever. I'm like, you guys are all right. But okay, so this kid, he's 6 or 5 or 7, whatever. His older siblings are all high school kids or even older. I think some of them are in college, so he was kind of the baby. And they have this gigantic barn dominium metal building that they have put a bunch of sports stuff in there. And we go in just to hang out, and I was like, "Oh my God, this place rules for a teenager." They had two batting cages with those ball shooter things, whatever it's
Yeah,
called,
yeah,
two of them, and then a regulation um, basketball hoop that could come down from the ceiling. I was like, what the hell?
damn.
With a Sea-Doo parked right in the middle of all of
They
it.
invested some money into that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
smart.
oh yeah. Oh, that they're the whole walls were just lined with various championships and trophies and first, second, third, runner-up baseball things. I mean, they are a baseball family, and I just thought that was really cool. The batting cages. I didn't get a chance to play with them, but by God, I'm going to next time.
Yeah.
So you're meeting the parents. That means it's getting serious.
Yeah, I'm ready for a betrothment. I think we're pretty much set. It's going to be mainly a land deal. They're going to be a, power couple.
Oh yeah.
So how did your guys' bets go last week that you made?
I lost the 50 cents that was in my account.
Son of a bitch.
Well, like I said,
Are you
Arkansas.
okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, because now, and if I want to play some more, I gotta fucking put money in it. I don't want to do
Somebody
that.
in the comments leave the suicide hotline number for Kevin, please. I can't think of it
Or
right now.
maybe a GoFundMe for
Yeah,
our
my 50 cents is
win.
gone. I was gonna turn it into 20 bucks and play all year.
Hey, that's
Man,
the
did the
key.
bank send you a notice on that?
No.
Well, I had like a 7 or 8 game parlay where I hit everyone but Arkansas. Arkansas is the one that fucked me. I took a lot of safe bets, and then I threw in somebody like Arkansas to really boost my odds because then you get like a 20% odd booster too every
Uh,
week, you know. So Arkansas fucked me in double overtime, or like I said, they cost me like $400.
Can
So
you guys explain to me what parlay means? Because all I can think of is fucking pirates, and they have to go see the captain. So what is a parlay in?
So parlays, like instead of just saying outright, I think Arkansas is going to win. I'm going to take those odds. I pick multiple teams. Like I'll pick Alabama, Tennessee, uh, Arkansas, USC, Notre Dame. Like I would pick 5 of those and then put $10 that all those teams are going to win because it increases your odds because all those teams have to hit for you to win the bet. So your
So it's like okay, so it's like an ETF in stocks. You're not putting your money into one particular company. You're putting it across like 10 or
mm,
15 of them in a fund.
well, sort of, but all have to hit you or you lose. You don't get
yeah.
partial credit. Like
Okay.
Yeah, that's
ETF would
that
get.
would be the
Yeah.
difference. Like Arkansas losing, like even though all 6 of my other teams hit, since Arkansas lost, I lost all my money.
So why would you do that? What, is it a
Well,
bigger
because
payout?
it increases the odds.
Yes.
Like
Oh
your odds
yeah.
go from like plus 100 from just picking Arkansas to plus like 800 by adding all the other teams.
Oh, but
So
your odds of winning are a lot lower, right?
In
yeah,
theory, but
because all of them have to hit. But that's why I'd like to try to take that underdog and then pair it with teams that I think are going to like Alabama's going to win and like a few other teams that I think are guaranteed wins. Like I almost put on Auburn because I figured Auburn would have been a guaranteed win. I'm glad I didn't. Well, I
yeah.
guess it
Okay,
wouldn't matter now, but
okay, so you can pick which teams you put into your parlay.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's not like pre-selected, this
No,
parlay,
no,
this
they'll
one.
try
Okay.
to sometimes throw pre-selected shit at you, but I would never trust those. Um,
Yeah,
but
because that's
yeah,
how they get you.
yeah, but I mean, like that's the best way to make good money because, like I said, I think I only upfronted like $20. That $20 or it was either maybe 20 or 30, but the return on it was pretty high because I had such a huge parlay and then I added a booster on it too. So
What would you have gotten if they all hit?
it was close to 400. It was like three something, 380, something like that.
But Arkansas dropped the ball.
Arkansas kept turning the fucking ball
Mm.
over, man, and they were up so big too, and then they just kept turning the ball over. Then they lost in double overtime.
Mm-mm.
And that's what I was going to do, Kevin. Like I would have cashed out 300 and they left 80 in there to just gamble with, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That's it. So I'm gonna have to get another 50 cents in the bank account there and see if I can
See if you can
that's
push it.
smart. Yeah.
Man, don't strap your family too much, dude.
Hard times.
Oh me.
Those grocery prices ain't coming down.
No.
Nah.
Yeah. Uh,
So, what are you guys betting on this week? Any good local high school bowling teams that are looking promising, or church leagues? Y'all at that level yet, or
Church
you just sticking with
softball.
pros? Yeah, man. Hey, those dudes,
Hey,
they want it.
if there's something to gamble on, people will gamble. That's the thing.
mhm.
I probably won't. I mean, there's nothing too appealing to me for college. I'll probably do some NFL betting this week. Kind of since we got week one under that way now.
Yeah.
I'll probably look at doing some NFL betting. I feel like it's safer bets. Um, I say that week one was kind of weird, but like Titans are probably going to be not favored. Like, do you take your chance on Titans
I
defense
would.
ending up at home? You know what I mean? Like, there's a chance to get some plus.
Yep. I would take that bet. Titans over. I would take Titans over Jets.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's got a harder one. They got Detroit. That's a tough one.
Ooh, I would take that bet too, though. That's gonna be an upset.
That could be,
I
but then
mean, just the odds wise.
yeah, if you like I said, like well, that's what I might would take the Titans odd wise, and then pair that with like Baltimore and 49ers because they're going to win. I mean, so or even New England at Seattle, that's an interesting one.
Patriots gonna win that one.
Yeah, that could be one. I'm sure Seattle's probably favored.
Speaking of bets, Kevin, let me throw one at you. Uh, Tyson or Paul? Who's going to take it?
Paul's gonna take it, even though I want Tyson to win it.
Mm, I hate to say you might be right.
It's gonna happen. It sucks because it's gonna be rigged, dude. Come on, let's be real. It's nuts. It's gonna be just fucking rigged shit. It's gonna be Paul's gonna fucking win it. We're gonna have to hear about it.
Not rigged, though. We can say it'd be Tyson.
I feel pretty confident in real life that Tyson, even at his age, would.
I say if Tyson loses, obviously it's rigged. We storm the Capitol.
When is this fight? Do we know that when's the
November?
November something.
it's in November? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I'm doing a watch party here with a bunch of dudes. Y'all ought to come check it out. Throw it up on the big screen.
do a live podcast, or
Oh yeah.
live reactions to the fight.
Yeah. For
Because
the
my only problem with the Paul brothers is like I watched that Anderson Silva fight, and Silva won,
broke my heart.
but there's no way, even at Silva's age, and even though it's boxing, that you're gonna tell me the Paul brothers beat arguably one of the best fighters in history.
Silva, man, when he was running through the UFC, no one could touch him.
That guy was a fucking
They
beast.
literally couldn't touch him.
Yeah,
They
His
actually couldn't
literally.
touch him.
well, they would touch him with their face and his foot, but that
Yeah,
was about all that they could get.
that
And
was like unworldly watching that guy at that time, man.
I got tired of watching him, honestly.
Yeah.
Dominate.
Yeah, I got bored with it. Him and Lesnar and all those guys, they were just too
GSP.
good.
Gosh.
Oh, now GSP, he
The
was
thing,
he.
the
He
thing
was
I like
boring to
about
watch.
GSP, man. I
the thing
love
I
He was
like
him.
about Silva's at least knocking out most of the time. GSP's just wrestling
dry
game. You
humping
got to have a
fucking
love for
people.
wrestling. You got to respect the wrestling because it's not going to be fun to watch. They're just going to
Yeah,
be very dominant.
I really liked watching GSP go. But yeah, it's I mean the Paul brothers well, I say Paul brothers, but really, what is it? Jake Paul? He's the little
Yeah,
one that's doing the boxing. Logan is the one that's in WWE right now or
Yeah,
AEW,
he's the
whatever.
WWE one. Yeah.
Yeah, and according to wrestling people, he is killing it. Like they're all like, I hate to admit how good he is, but he is weirdly good at this. And so he's actually,
Well, he's a natural heel because everybody wants to hate him.
yeah, but also his skill in the
the
ring and taking
skills.
bumps and
Yeah.
doing the shoots and stuff. Apparently, he's really good at it. But
Uh,
Jake Paul, though, correct me if I'm wrong, has he really been tested yet with an actual fighter? He had that one with what's his name? Tommy, no.
Bradley.
Um, hmm?
Garcia brother, what was his name? I know who you're talking about. He had the one boxing match, right,
Like
against an
the
actual
actual
boxer.
boxer that beat him.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he got beat. I didn't realize he'd been beat. That's
Yeah,
great.
he got beat
Tommy
by
Fury. Tommy Fury.
that's it. And Tommy something. I kept wanting to say Tommy Gunn. I was like, no, that was Rocky Five.
Yeah,
But
yeah. He lost in a split decision to Tommy Fury. Who's
yeah,
is his older brother?
Tyson.
Logan.
No,
Tyson
no,
Fury.
Tyson Fury's
Oh,
brother, the big Fury brother that was like heavyweight world champ.
His older brother is who he fought.
No. Jake Paul fought Tommy Fury. His Tommy
His
Fury's
younger brother.
Tommy Fury's brother. Who's his brother?
No, Tyson Fury would be his brother. I just didn't know if Tommy
Tyson
was older or
Fury.
younger.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, Tyson Fury. Yeah.
Tyson Fury. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I want to see him going up against guys that are his age, their prime contenders,
Oh
legit.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
But
it
he's
was.
would be
calling out all
safe.
these old guys, and it's like, all it is money. He's just collecting those paychecks for all these big names,
Yeah.
and because they know it's going to draw. Those guys know it's going to draw. They know all they got to do is just run around the ring with this kid for
Talk shit leading up to
45
it.
minutes.
And it's
Yeah,
all, I mean, it's the same circus act we've seen for years now. I mean, McGregor did it. He was good at it. You become this big ego, you talk a lot of shit, you get all these eyes on you, and you just make fucking bank. Except he was actually fighting there for a while. Now it's kind of just a circus show. I mean, everything the Paul brothers do, it's kind of just a circus show.
it's all about money, clicks, and hate clicks because we're going to watch it because we hate him, and
Yeah.
we want to see Tyson shut him up. But what do you think? I mean, we know Tyson's personality, and he's kind of a wild card. Do you think that he will actually go through with the throw?
Well,
Like
that's
if
what I'm interested in. Like, is he gonna stay true to Paul and just be like, yeah, I'll stack, I'll kind of hit you hard a couple times and I'll let you do your thing. I just imagine he's gonna just be playing defense most of the time, just to just so Paul
Paul's
can win.
safety, he better hope that fucking Tyson,
yeah.
Mike Tyson, because if I don't care how old he is, you don't lose that shit from a punch perspective. I'd think it would be unsafe for them. It would be unsafe for them to fight.
I mean, just watching his training videos now is like, good Lord, he's
It'd
still
be,
so fast.
I mean, from a licensing standpoint, like that's the other piece. Like, fuck. I mean, they have to. Someone's gonna have to give him that license to fight Mike Tyson, and I mean, that's dangerous if Mike Tyson is who
Yeah,
we
well,
know.
they kind of skew the regulations, don't they? Like it's almost treated like a practice. It's not even like a full-fledged fight, isn't it? Like the gloves they
Well,
use.
didn't they get rid of the exhibition rule? Didn't they say that it counted?
Oh,
Well,
are
there's just,
they?
it's just
Are
fucking
they?
fight. Well,
'Cause
oh,
I
it'll
know they.
count for the record.
Yeah, I think they got, well, when it was still scheduled for July, they got rid of the exhibition thing that it was
Because
actually going to be
because he did Mayweather, right? And that was just exhibition.
who
Who?
did Mayweather?
Gregor?
One of the Paul brothers did.
No.
No, no, no. They're way bigger than him. Those guys are heavyweights.
No, well, maybe I'm thinking of Conor McGregor and
Yeah,
Mayweather.
McGregor,
That
yeah,
was
he
like
did something. That was an exhibition, and that pissed me
that
off
was
too.
such a money, like everybody bought into that. And like, do you really think McGregor's going to be fucking Mayweather in boxing?
That's who it was, Mayweather, yeah. Was it? Was it Mayweather and McGregor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those two fought.
God, that was
Yeah,
like 6 years
Mayweather
ago.
knocked him out. It was like his only knockout of his career.
That was so long ago. That was like
Yeah,
six,
he
Oh,
seven
no,
years
knocked
no,
him
ago.
out
okay.
like
It was
10 rounds.
Jake Paul's brother. He also fought Floyd Mayweather. Logan Paul did.
Did
What?
he really?
Yeah, I thought they did. It's been a while. They did over 1 million pay-per-view buys though.
Yeah.
But
Who won?
it was considered like an exhibition. Yeah, it was an exhibition crossover boxing. Yeah. It was
Who
in twenty
won?
twenty twenty one. I don't think anybody even won. Like I think it got just called split.
That's
Golly.
stupid. I don't even remember that, but yeah.
Anyways,
Well,
If Mike, if Iron Mike, if that's not going to be an exhibition, that does make it more interesting, though. Because
I'm
I
pretty
didn't know
sure
that
it's not.
part, and I was kind of like turned off by the fact that it was going to be that.
yeah, it's on his record. So if it goes on his record, he's gonna have a tougher time throwing that shit.
Yeah. Oh, Chad Ocho Cinco was also on that card against Mayweather and Paul. I didn't even know that.
My gosh,
Chris Johnson, I know he did a UFC fight. Well, it wasn't a UFC fight, but it was like a smaller wannabe UFC company.
really?
Yeah, I think
I
he got
didn't
his
take
ass
him for a
kicked.
fighter.
I mean, he's gangster. I guess he thought he'd step into an
I mean,
octagon.
he raced a cheetah.
Do what?
He raced a cheetah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I mean, a lot of these guys retired. They'll do anything for money.
Yeah, that's true. I just didn't see him as a fighter. He was never physical. I mean, he was physical, but no one actually took him as physical because he was so fast, even though he was actually kind of big.
Yeah,
But that's crazy.
dollars a dollar.
Yeah.
Well, time to hit the old dusty trail.
That'll do it for today.
That's it, boys. That's it. Next week we will be back with his Otani show.
Bigger, stronger, harder,
Less tired,
thicker.
probably. Less tired.
We'll all be bigger and stronger and harder because we'll be eating blue chew. Shout
Before
out.
before the podcast. That'd be fun.
I'm gonna eat a handful of blue chew before we record next week.
Yeah, see who can go the longest sitting
See, that's
still.
my secret. I didn't eat them this whole episode.
Wait, we weren't supposed to eat those?